Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to Hand of Fate. Let's begin the next story.
Do you have what it takes to defeat the rats?
So, I bet we don't get endless mode until we are completely done with the story. Which now puts us 1/4 of the way done. We got this new expansion, and there's nothing we can really do with that, so we'll just click here. The Jack of Plague. We're gonna have a curse twice the fail. The player loses 5 gold for every fail and 10 gold for every huge fail chance card. Interesting. There is also a challenge of 3 ratmen hunting and 3 angry mob cards that will be in there. Here is a beast who hates your kind and has grown fat and evil with that hatred. The Jack of Plague will kill you and suck the marrow from your bones. Looks like a giant humanoid rat creature, maybe?
Ah, the rats. They have swarmed up from the dark places beneath the realms of humanity and now squat amongst your cities and feast and shriek and hunt and writhe.
So let's look at our deck builder. We don't have the right amount set up because everything's gotten upgraded. So let's go to the recommendation. The number of equipment and encounters has changed. They want 18 equipment pieces and 20 encounters now. Let's see. Things that we're leaving off are maces and swords and shields and medium armor, so that we can have desperate measures in here, and the huge hammer, which I thought was a mage hammer. I tell you, trying to read them when you first open the packs is something I'm just gonna have to skip because I cannot read half of the text. I'm getting it so wrong. The Armor of Cold, almost certainly going to either have a cold slowing effect on me or anybody that hits me. The Angel's Wing we did have from the last time, but we simply didn't find it. We did use some of these other pieces of equipment. Wouldn't surprise me if some of these artifacts end up being the only things we use. Fleet Cuffs. They were something we unlocked. Healer's Ring versus the Ring of Survival. Not sure what the difference there will be. It wouldn't be surprising if eventually you just have these special cards and nothing else. Do I have enough armor? Yeah, medium armor and Chains of Rage and Armor of Cold. Should be enough. Now, we are as the adventurer, and so we don't want to, I really don't want to make any change. It's kind of questionable why Warlock is considered hard mode. Why Apprentice is easy mode, Adventurer is default mode, and the Warlock would be hard mode. Oh, it's Warlord, not Warlock. Ah, that makes a lot more sense. Gosh, I can't even read these things when they're right in front of me. Yeah. Some of the classes probably don't make as much sense to me right now as they will. So we've got a lot of cards here. A lot of them are new-ish. And a lot of them are locked because they have to be, that you're almost guaranteed if it's locked you're going to see it in the next encounter. So I wouldn't be surprised if somebody actually calculated it out and found that only somewhere around a third of the card slots are actually random and the rest are laid out in very specific ways. We're leaving pretty much the same number of cards as last time. but we've never used some of these cards too, so I could see myself, after playing story mode, just going into endless mode and trying to unlock everything just to make sure I've done it once. And I'm not sure what kind of game you'd want to play there, whether it would want to be a really, really long one or a really short one. And maybe in endless mode it's endless, so it doesn't matter.
Our Lord of Plague does like to rub your nose in misfortune.
So there's a lot of misfortune cards in there. Let's look at our setup. See, because we have adventure, we now have adventure with the goblet. It seems like we don't. It seems like you don't have a option there. I think you're just gonna have the goblet. We start with a shield, and we start with an axe, and we start with light armor, which is something we didn't have before. So the goblet is helping. Mr. Lionel. What will be interesting here is if he gives me something different now that I already have a shield. So we need to ask him what he needs again, and just to see what that changes. The goblin immediately begins to wander around your person, probing and poking your weapons and apparel before make a sudden grab at something. He then sits considering you for a while before slapping the table with his hands. I know what you need. Here, Mr. Lionel puts out a large empty cloth sack and holds it open. Reach in it and you'll receive your heart's desire. Draw one equipment card.
Fling your opponent's challenges back in their faces.
So, shield versus shield. Might as well equip it.
Really? Is that what you're going to do?
We shall meet again, the goblin subtly declares. Then he strides confidently out of the back of the tavern. So he gave me another shield, which is fine. Gives me something to sell. The maiden.
Win this and claim my token.
One day shall before she stops to greet you. I'm gonna request a lock from her hair. Take a swing at the elf's maid's hair with your dagger. Let's just request it. Why would we not request it? The maiden considers this for a moment before slicing a few strands of her hair. As you wish, but be cautious, mortal. You have the taint of goblin about you, and they may never be trusted. The card's token is now mine. Many enchanted weapons have powerful abilities that can be turned the tide of battle, but only if the wielder remembers to use them. Farewell, mortal. So instead of getting gold, which is what I thought I was going to get, I got a...
It amuses me to
lock
watch
of
them
hair.
theorize, to attempt to discern the very likeness of the gods down to their toes.
Helpful priest. Meet a wandering priest who greets you in a friendly manner. Give him half my food. Decline shark. Half my food. Let's go for huge success. Huge success. Huge success. Nope. He says a few words in the language of the old religion and gently touches your forehead. It is done. Draw one blessing.
I made that a little too powerful. I will have to rebalance that next time.
Undead that physically strike the player may receive damage themselves. Interesting. Not a super useful blessing. Forced
Roaming
escape.
ever forward, hunting for the truth.
Here we go. Forward. Path forwards takes you into a forest. Take the forest path. You kind of have to.
Each of these cards is crafted from your memories and built from your experience. I created them, but only in the abstract. It is the importance you place on them that makes them real.
Is the background of him changing? It feels like it got brighter in the background than it used to be. So we kind of know now that this is your memories. It seems like just kind of a random place for them to explain that. But okay, they should have either explained it right at the very beginning of the game or somewhere near the end as a big reveal. Twisted Canyon. See a weapon gleaming. Will we go get it? Of course. The odds are very good. What determines how many success or failure cards you're going to use? I don't know. There's nothing really on the art there that indicates you'd have 3 successes and 1 failure. Huge hammer does 35 damage. As you string together consecutive attacks, you greatly increased hammer. Use the left bump to unleash a fierce explosion. Absolutely. Equip that. Now let's move forward to the river.
How will you cross this time?
Your path is blocked by the river. The water is clear but fast flowing. I think you kind of have to go forward. If you turn back, there's no other option. Huge success is what we're looking for. I missed it. The light armor makes crossing relatively easy. You reach the other side, cold but wet, and wet but unharmed. Of course, I didn't get an item there. Huge success would have gotten me an item. Traveling jeweler. Interesting. A different type of shop. In the shabby grove of a beaten trail, you find a traveling merchant looking to trade with wandering adventurers. It seems like it's the same intro every time, regardless of what kind of shop it is. Let's approach the shop. Greetings, traveler. I have much to offer. Good, because I have some stuff to sell. Now, food-wise, it looks like I only have 4. I think I gave half my food to the guy, that's why, so I may need to only buy food and nothing else. Let's see. At 13, I don't think I could really afford to buy anything but food. Let's see. That's too expensive, that's too expensive, and that's too expensive. 30 food is all I could afford. Although we're going pretty fast, so it may be alright. Hitch a ride to the next
level. A fine companion. I'm sure you'll leave this one in time. You do not seem to have the temperament for friends, even in the animal kingdom.
So, he's almost indicating to me that I was thrown from a horse or trampled. Well, I'd say thrown from a horse, and that's how I died. Let's see. Hitch a ride. We go forward.
What brings you to play the game? Ha! I know you will not tell me. Like all the rest, you are silent.
Let's move forward. The Dead King's
Crypt
Hall.
rubbing. I'm not sure the dead fighting back makes this any more dignified.
You see an ancient ornate coffin, draw 2 monster cards and attack them. Something's weird about those cards. They have, like, stars around them. See that? 2 of skulls with a red dot, and 3 of dust with 2 red dots. Oh, that might be because of the cup. Let's attempt to take him by surprise, though. I'm not gonna be super, like, cautious here.
Choose from these options.
Suddenly you leap into the fray, taking one of them down before they can even react. Ooh, so I can just say, choose a monster to discard. Wow. That's actually a really huge success. That's my special ability. And that was my Holy Touch ability. And that was the fight. And you can see it's refilling my special ability very slowly here. But not too slow. Draw 3 gains cards. Hopefully it's food. Frost Fang. Sadly, I'm not going to use it. 3 food, probably don't need it. 5 food, probably don't need it. Let's see. Ratman hunting.
Now you begin to trespass upon the Ratman's hunting grounds.
You stumble upon a Ratman hunting party. Prepare to defend yourself. The dealer will draw 1 monster card. 4 of plague. Not super scary, but it feels like those numbers are going up. Feels like we're gonna start seeing 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10s of certain characters. Do they have some kind of plague ability?
Plague by name and plagued by nature, the rats leave behind a deadly toxin.
And these guys have a knife they can throw. And boy, they do like 3 in a row. Look at my life there. That's like 60 health. That is not a good amount of health. Besides, you search their bodies, finding nothing. If only there were another way to stop the plague of the Ratman. Pay someone to take care of it, perhaps. Let's see. The White Council. 2. Good.
A challenge for you, and a token if you succeed.
One day as you travel through the forest, you come across a band of thugs standing on the roadside. As you draw near, they move to block your path. The dealer draws 2 monster cards. 2 of dust, 2 of dust. Give them half your gold. Refuse. Go back the way you came. Now, looking at my gold, I have like 1 gold. So I could do that. But I just want to fight them. It makes more sense. The White Council doesn't like armed mercenaries wandering through their land, the man says, as his goons close in around you. It really would have been only 1 gold. And I'm at 72 health. So I want this to be an opportunity to maybe get something. There's some kind of traps that I just walked through. I'm down to 32. As you approach one of the fallen men, he says, with some effort, "You regret this. There will be consequences." As he cuts off as his voice fails him. You notice a robed figure standing in the shadows of the forest. He waves his hand and a magical portal appears. Stepping through it, he is quickly gone. You look around to find no trace of the fight remains. The card's token is now yours.
Your prize.
I am not in a good position, though. I'm at 32 health.
An expedition. Press on.
I get 6 health for every piece of food, and it looks like I don't have any food. I wonder if there's a bug here, or if I really am running out of food. Take the forest path. Yes, we have to.
Did you expect me to tell your fortune? No. A fortune teller is at their most base and despicable when they begin to believe their own lies. Of course, I am different. My powers are genuine.
He doesn't seem to be telling the future. He seems to be telling the past. In fact, it's practically said that. Or directly said that. So, according to this, I have no food and I have 38 health. And unless I find somebody that could heal me, or no, I do have food. There's a bug in the game, apparently, or it's just rendering the wrong information. Let's see, the Song of the White Minotaur, that's new.
We play for a token now.
The Mug and Barrel Inn is renowned for attracting the most talented barbs for all around. You arrive there weary from your adventures, but tonight's entertainment convinces you to settle by the hearth for a while. Hours pass and the crowd starts to thin. The barb begins to move around the room, playing requests for small groups. He serenades a pair of young lovers for a meager sum, and then is generously tipped for leading a group of blacksmiths in a raucous chorus of foul language aimed at the folks from the next town over. He approaches you. Well, what do we have here? A most distinguished adventurer. No tawdry tale of insipid chivalry or brash tribalism will do. You, sir, merit a stirring ballad of bloodshed, heroism, and death. The bard sings for you a fable of the White Minotaur, a legendary beast who is master of both might and magic. Its power is such...
Take your time if you like. I've waited long enough.
Well, if you don't want me to take my time, don't give me so much to read. Its power is such that it has felled every adventurer, bounty hunter, and treasure seeker that has ever crossed. At the close of the song, the bard leans in close to you and whispers, "The White Minotaur is no man. I met a man 2 nights ago who hunts the beast as if it were its long shadow. I'd wager that any adventurer would be interested in the tale that you told me over supper. All yours for a small donation." So I just don't want a huge failure here. I like the look of you. Does 5 gold sound fair? I don't have 5 gold. Pay the bar 5 gold. I can't. I can only refuse. Sadly. My apologies, I mistook you for someone with a sense of adventure. So I've lost that adventure thing, and that was a big waste of time.
They will
Ratman
not let
humming.
you pass so easily. Prepare yourself.
One monster card for plague. I've got to be really careful here. But this is going to be our first failure. Well, they weren't all going to be successes. They could have been. It just didn't seem very likely. That worked out very well. I seem to have like two things defending me. Because it stacked the Y and B buttons. Besides, you search the bodies, finding nothing. If only another way to stop the plague of Rama and pay someone to take care of it, perhaps. I haven't seen a card like that. It almost feels like we're gonna unlock a card in the future that would allow us to play the scenario very differently and a lot easier. Up to 52 health. Treasure chest.
A treasure chest? What more iconic emblem of success could we imagine?
Move forward. While exploring the dungeon, you see a treasure chest at the end of the hall. Approach the treasure chest. Alleyways. So, 50-50. Is it booby-trapped? The hall is silent as you move forward. You approach the treasure chest.
Again, a token is at stake.
Your treasure chest looks battered but still intact. What treasure might it hold? Attempt to pry it open. Alright. Success. After a mighty heave, the lock gives way and the spoils are yours. The dealer gives you 4 gains cards. The card's token is now yours. So 20 gold, not going to be useful. 40 gold, not going to be useful. 25 gold, not going to be useful. And 3 gold. Unless I find a shop or a healer or something, all that gold is out the window. There might be an achievement for ending a level with a lot of gold, though. In the shady grove off the beaten trail, call for the priest is here. Approach the shop. We're slowly speeding up here as we see the same cards over and over again. We'll soon know all the cards like the back of our hand, and it'll be real easy. Let's start by selling items. I have the huge hammer, which I'm going to stick with, so I'll sell this. I kind of like the Frostfang a little bit better. And do I have any curses? Well, this would be $120 for twice to fail, and that's not worth it. And then heal wounds to gain 15 health would be 10. And I think that's all we're gonna do, because whenever a player uses an artifact, there's 30% chance of immediately reducing its cooldown. Whenever a player eats food, they gain twice the usual health. I think I'm only gonna eat food a couple of times, so like 12 health for that is probably not worth it. And then critical strike, it's probably not worth it. I have exactly 100 gold right now, so 15 health with another 15 health.
I'm sure you're grateful for that.
With another, let's see, let's just do another 15. There we go. And that leaves us with almost enough to buy a blessing. Well, we actually can buy a blessing, so we might as well do it.
Very nice indeed.
Might as well take everything we can. And we'll even take home food. Take 2 foods. So that leaves us in a much better position. But unless there's more levels, we've got like 2 fights at most. The Crucible.
A crucible to heat and purify the flawed metal. You, in this case.
Oh no. Is this gonna be like a gauntlet of bad guys?
As you plunder the secrets of your memories, you'll gain new cards. Some you'll wish you'd left untouched.
The Tower of Stiegel sits upon the only safe crossing of the River Ernst. However, the only adventurers allowed to cross those are those who pass through the Crucible. Attempt to swim the river or enter the Crucible. In the Crucible, you'll fight monsters for the entertainment of the townspeople of Stiegel. What will you do? Let's enter the Crucible. You are led into the first arena. Choose your opponent wisely, yells a man from the crowd. I'm betting on you. So, when we did the deal with the devil, it didn't seem like that was helpful. But a 4 of dust isn't even that hard, so I'm going to take 4 of dust in case it gives me more reward. If it doesn't, then I'll just always pick the weaker groups. There's all kinds of booby traps around here, spikes. Right onto the spikes. Now, I imagine there's going to be like 3 of these. You survived that round, now to do it again. The crowd awaits your decision. So, yeah. I imagine I'm going to have to do them all 3, so we'll just keep with the difficult ones. That took out 9 health, by the way, so not scot-free. It seems like maybe the Crucible gets a little bit more difficult each tier 2, so it wouldn't be a terrible thought to make sure you work backwards. Take the most difficult first, the least difficult last. I got through that without taking any damage. That was lucky. After surviving the Crucible, you're paraded through the town and allowed to continue upon your journey. A few random peasants throw coins saying, "You've made me rich." The dealer draws you 4 gold game cards. The card's token is now mine. So by taking the more difficult ones, I got more gold, which I've gotten like a ridiculous amount of gold in this scenario. I could almost go back and buy more food or something else, but I see no reason to. Let's go forward to the stairs.
Descend ever deeper into the subterranean pit.
So now we've hit the point where...
Hush! Can you hear the way his claws scratch the tiles?
It feels like the next scenario, if not this scenario, is going to have 1 extra level. Ambush.
Again, the surprise attack. The novelty must wear thin on subsequent travels.
Ooh, Jack of Dust and 2 of Skulls. Let's go ahead and try and speed this up a little bit. Gotta be careful. I gotta watch how these guys are gonna attack too. I'm down a lot. He is quite tough. That was half my life. I need stronger armor. Sneak up and kill him. So 3 gains cards. I need health.
This alchemist could have turned his mind to the creation of gold or wonderful substances to better mankind, but instead settled for crafting vile poisons. Disgraceful.
All weapons and attacks are enhanced with powerful poison and that taints the victim's mind and body.
Artifacts give you powerful abilities to use in combat.
10 health. That was helpful. A winding trail.
These trails wind, and our goals wind with them. My voice and these words draw us closer to the inevitable conclusion.
So we have to draw 1 monster card there.
A pleasure to see the Queen return.
Let's see. I don't think that's a good battle. Let's just give them all my gold. You spill the contents of your money bag onto the ground and back away. They let you pass unharmed. Fighting the Jack of Dust and the Queen of Dust does not sound like a good move. Asleep in the forest.
Spirits roaming the darkness. With the struggles, the boundaries are weaker than they've ever been. Let us stake a token on their foolishness.
While sleeping in the forest, you are jolted awake by a voice calling your name. You see a vaguely human-shaped ghost rushing towards you. You are quick to your feet, weapon already in hand. The ghost stops abruptly, hands signaling that it means no harm. Its voice is so weak and distant. You forget me already? Has this place already corrupted you so? Let's lower the weapon. I should not be here, I fear. His servants already know where I am. For a brief moment, the ghost's pale eyes feel achingly familiar. Please come home soon. You blink and the ghost is gone. At your feet is a bag of food. The dealer draws you 1 food gain cards. See, in that...
I'm sure you are grateful for that.
That encounter almost feels like a story of what's going on right now as I'm playing this game. Maybe not. Either way, we have 10 food now.
Here is your token. Well done.
So I could potentially just use that food to gain health with every movement, which is what I'm doing. Indecent arrival.
I will happily wager on the outcome. I do not think you have what it takes.
You're minding your own business in a local tavern when suddenly 3 masked men burst through the doors, grab a young man from the bar, and manhandle him outside. One patron bursts out in protest, but is quickly silenced by a solemn stare of all those around him. Leave them be, Garrett. If it is his time, then it must be done. I'm gonna follow. You follow the masked men outside. Immediately you are confronted by a large crowd, all wearing masks. The leader speaks to you. Whoa there, stranger. I really would prefer that no outsider wit witness what we're about here. I know this may look like a godforsaken thing we do, but you have no idea of our trouble, so I ask you not to involve yourself. I will not ask twice. We have no time for objections. He does have quite the silver tongue. The crowd turns and drags away the young man, their torches burning a mournful light in the distance. One light has faded from sight. You follow their path into the forest. You catch up with them, and to your surprise, they are gathered around a yawning portal that whirls with malicious portent. Despite their disguises, it's obvious that none of the hooded figures relish the sight before them, and many are obviously distraught. The captive is carried to the portal and the shoulders of 6 people as though they were his coffin bearers, and he already dead. The young man struggles to subdue from the bounds of rope. Will I interrupt the ceremony? I think I gotta interrupt the ceremony. It may summon some kind of demon I have to fight, but let's do it. You burst forward from your hiding place and plead with the assembled crowd not to go through with whatever bizarre ritual they are engaged in, but you gain their support. The leader eventually speaks above the crowd. If this man is so adamant that one of our own should not be sent to the underworld, then perhaps he should go himself. You're immediately seized by the crowd and pushed down towards the portal. Try as you might, they are too strong for you and you cannot escape. You stumble and fall into the portal. You fall onto the ground with only a gentle jolt. You find yourself in a forest that bears the most striking resemblance to where you just were, but with 2 very significant differences. The crowd of masked onlookers are gone, and the sky burns with a bright red flames. Out of the sulfur and flames emerges foul hell beasts. 4 of hell. This might be a very, very difficult fight. They may have like fire damage. They may be really powerful. It's hard. I don't even see them. Gotta be careful there. These guys are too fast for me to attack with my heavy hammer very well. I'm down to 45 again. Hmm. 39 health. I'm really screwing up here. After you destroy the last hell beast, the portal slows back into life. You're lifted off your feet and sucked into the vortex, and before being deposited back to the leafy forest that you were ejected from earlier, the card's token is now yours. I didn't get anything more from that. Do I get to keep these tokens when I die? Because it feels like I'm gonna die. Let's see. See, it says once again it had me at 0 food. Now I'm at 6. Now I'm at 5. So I've got 4 cards remaining and 4 pieces of food. So actually probably am a little below what I needed. The Traveling Tinker. Interesting. So it's another shop. Let's go. We got lucky there. Let's see. Sell items. Can't really. Healer's ring would be 15. Of course, I can't buy anything, can I? I don't have any money. I suppose going to the shop gives me one spot that I don't have to worry about. Devil's Choice.
Though I admire his ilk, I live by very different rules.
Cloaked. Choose your foe. So, 4 of dust. So, I think it makes sense to always choose the strongest anyways, because the combination of the other 2 cards, if you don't choose the strongest, are going to make up the difference anyways. If I'd chosen the 2 of dust, it would have been 6 people attacking me instead of 4. If it had changed its mind and given me only 1 of the 2 cards, then that would have been alright, but... I want to be very careful here not to take any damage. Pretty good run there. So I draw 3 gain cards. Draw 3, select 1 to keep. Which would I prefer? Let's just take the new card, the Armor of Cold. Nearby
Caution,
enemies are
adventurer.
immediately slow.
This armor pulls energy from the world around you.
I'll take that and equip it.
Are you sure that's the right approach?
15 health. That gets me back to 100. 3 food. That fixes my problem there. Wow, I'm really well set now. I'm just gonna pass it by. Traveling jeweler. I suppose we could look at the shop, although it doesn't really matter. I've got nothing to sell. It's starting to feel a little too long too. Like, I think once you're at that approach of 50 minutes in one of these, seems just potentially like a little too long. I think if they could keep it a little bit faster to 30 minutes, that would be good too. There's a danger here of this game going on forever. RPGs have in the past certainly done things like that. And I could see this going on for like an hour and a half or more.
He awaits plague and pestilence and blood and teeth.
Faster and stronger than normal Ratman. This beast inspires all vermin around him and strikes faster the more damage he sustains. I'm gonna have to be careful here, even
This
at 100
token will
health.
unlock more cards if you can defeat this encounter.
Let's see, this, I mean, I could lose even at 100. 4 plague on top of them. I gotta get this guy out of the picture. There we go. nobody, just gotta get this guy's card. So that could have gone badly.
The queens and kings of the
45
rat
health.
kind have lost a child here today. For slaughter, your reward.
So let's kind of go through this a little bit faster. For gaining the maiden's hair, I receive the next part of the Goblin King's Halls. No surprise there. For standing up to the White Council thugs, I receive the White Council 3. No surprise there. For plundering the locked treasure chest, I receive draw 2, keep 1. And the Fool's Gold, which I don't know if that's an item or something else. For surviving the arenas of the town of Stiegel, I receive draw 2, keep 1, noble trader, a wife's fury, and loom or loan. I don't even know what it says. For showing the ghost you are merciful, you received a sleep at the inn. So that's going to be more storyline. But that storyline particularly doesn't feel like it's DLC. It feels like it was probably the first major bit of storyline you would have seen in this game if you don't get the DLC. For venturing into the underworld, I receive Alicia in the underworld. As reward for defeating Ratman Jack, I received these new cards. Let's see, some kind of armor, some kind of weapon. Let's see, I don't know. King of Dust. That's going to be an important one. That's probably the next people we fight. Devil's Contract, it looks like. And something else. I'll look at all these cards in more detail at the beginning of next recording, when I can actually zoom in on them. For defeating Ratman Jack, I also get these cards, which looks like some new story things. Yeah, 3 of the exact same card. What is that, Ratman hunting, it looks like. So we're going to see 3 more Ratman handlings.
Play. I do not want to just sit here. Look at the cards you have earned. Now we have enough to begin a real game.
So again, he's all saying like, now the real game begins. It's only going to get more harder, more difficult as we move forward. I think every single time he's going to do that, beckoning us to take on more and more challenge. And I guess we will take on more challenge in the next recording. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.